Hi, I'm Chloe, and I had a random inclination to make this video. I didn't really feel like pulling out my camera and my lights because it's pretty late, but I wanted to make this while I had this motivation to do it. I've been wanting to film a video like this for a long time, but I would get kind of nervous and just push it off, but I'm feeling kind of motivated to do it right now, so I'm gonna do it. This year has been the year that I finally became open about my sexuality and was finally honest, and it feels so good to not have to feel uncomfortable in conversations when people ask if I'm dating anyone or if I like anyone, and it feels good to be in conversations with my friends will bring up my girlfriend, and it's just a normal thing and everyone's just fine with it, and it feels just good to not have to be something that's a secret anymore, and I'm just so happy that I finally got to that point. I came out publicly in July to just my school, and then I started becoming more open about it on my social media. That was the week that my girlfriend was here, because we're long distance, and she was very supportive, and it was so good to have her there when I was kind of minorly freaking out, but overall everyone had such a good reaction and everyone was so supportive, and it just really warmed my heart, and because it took a lot to have to say that, and every time I would come out to someone it took a lot, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today, is kind of just coming out to myself and realizing it and telling people and blah 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 blah, because for a long time a lot of people didn't know I was struggling with this. My parents didn't know, my family didn't know, nobody knew. My first thought that I could possibly be gay was when I was around 11, 12, probably more 12. I would just go on Google and search pictures of girls, and it wasn't sexual pictures, it was just pretty girls or celebrities that I thought were pretty, and my mind would just wander, and I'd be like, I wonder what it'd be like to kiss them or hold their hand or hug them, cuddle with them, all the romantic stuff that you see in movies, but I was leaning more towards girls, and I didn't really know why, and it kind of scared me, but I just pushed that to the back of my mind, and I didn't think about it for a long time, and I just had this little secret that I would go on my little flip phone on the internet that cost probably $1 million per gig. I just look at pictures of girls and think about holding their hand, thinking about kissing them, and I didn't really associate that with being gay. And I had a friendship, a really close friendship with a girl, and I found myself every time I'd go to see her or every time we were gonna hang out, I would want to look really pretty, and I'd put a little more effort into my appearance and I'd get butterflies, but I didn't really realize that was kind of a crush until I was older, and I look back on that and what I was feeling then was just a crush, and I didn't associate that with being gay. I didn't know what those feelings were, and I didn't have any idea, and it's probably because I was never really introduced to a gay couple when I was younger. I didn't even really know what gay meant or lesbian meant, and I was kind of sheltered in that respect. I didn't know about this part of people and that sexualities could be different, and all I really knew was man and woman, so my mind really didn't understand this until later in my life. I remember very vividly laying in my bed, and this is when I kind of started to think about it and kind of started to connect the dots, and I was laying in my bed, and I was probably almost 13 at this point, and I looked up at the ceiling just kind of thinking, and I was just telling myself, if you like girls, that's gonna ruin your life. You have a perfectly good life. You have a good family, you're healthy, you have a home, you have food on the table. Being gay would ruin all of that. Ruin all of it. And I really convinced myself this was the thing that was gonna take that all away from me. That I could not lead a normal life if I didn't have a husband someday, and if I had a wife someday, that was the end game. That was the worst you could possibly do. And I totally believed that. Like, I would look in the mirror and just be like, you cannot be gay, like, that's not happening. And I pushed it away again. It was just something I was not going to let myself think about. Until I met a girl. And I really liked her, and I was 13 by now, I think. I really, really, really liked her. I felt so much confliction and so much anxiety because I liked her, but I didn't think I could, and it was just so frustrating because no one had told me that it was okay. If there's one thing that I wish I could have gone back and told myself when I was struggling through this, was that it was okay to like girls. Like, this wasn't gonna ruin your life. Like, this is just such a small aspect of your life. That's why I really try hard talking to younger kids, and I try not to put them in that box that I was in. I really did feel like I was in a box, because I was your stereotypical little girl. I liked boy bands, I obsessed over boys, but when I looked at boys, I saw their physical appearance and I was like, yeah, like, he's attractive, but I didn't feel like inclined to act upon romantic attraction. There was none. As my crush developed, as did the stress, as did the sadness, because I really was scared and I didn't really know what to do, but as I do still, I'm impulsive and I just act on my feelings. And I told her I liked her, and we've remained friends, and I still had a crush on her. So I told my best friend I was bisexual, because that was easier than saying gay, because at least there was that slight chance I could end up with a boy. So I was bisexual, I guess. And even though in my heart I knew I was just lying to myself, I was just gonna be bisexual. Throughout my 13th year, I still had a crush on that girl, and I was in 8th grade. I began talking more to my friends about how I was feeling, and I'm pretty proud of my young self for looking for someone to talk to, because when I was just sitting there alone struggling with these internalized feelings, like, it wasn't a good feeling, and I'm so the type of person that needs assistance and needs help when I'm really conflicted. So it's perfectly in my character to have gone to my friends, and through talking to them, I just came to the understanding that I couldn't keep lying and pretending that there was that chance that I was bisexual, because I wasn't. I didn't want to have anything romantic with guys. I didn't want to have sex with guys. I didn't want to hold hands with guys. I could look at a guy and say and acknowledge that he's attractive. I can see when people are attractive, but when I think of myself dating, I think of girls, and I think of holding girls' hands, and it's just, that's where my brain is. So throughout my 13th year, I became more and more comfortable with saying I'm gay. I did go through that really bad time that a lot of people talk about when they're talking about their coming out process to themselves, where you are really anxious and you are really depressed, and I really had this severe self-loathing because I really didn't want to be different. I already felt kind of different from everyone. And when I was younger, I did have crushes on boys, but when you're that young, you don't really know the difference between a crush and a friend. I had crushes on boys because I thought they were funny, and yeah, so that's a crush, right? I didn't understand the concept until I was older that the attraction I was feeling to girls was really different from the crushes I had on boys. And I can't explain how different it felt, but there's a really big distinction when you're the one feeling it. Towards the end of 8th grade, I had come out to most of my friends. I had had a conversation with most of my friends. And if I hadn't, I would have over that summer and throughout my freshman year. I felt good about talking to my friends. Like, that was something that I'm comfortable with. I'm comfortable with opening up to my friends because I have really amazing friends who always have supported me through this process and have really encouraged me while I was still figuring things out. So by the end of 8th grade, the girl I liked was out of the picture. I just had a wonderful summer with my friends. But high school was coming up, and I remember trying to convince myself that I wanted to come out freshman year because I was sick of lying to my family, and I was sick of lying to my classmates. But I didn't. I wasn't having a good freshman year. I was very much in a bad place my freshman year, so I didn't. I did have flings with girls, I did have crushes on girls throughout my freshman and sophomore year, but I didn't tell anyone really besides my friends, and that's just kind of how it was for a long time. I'm really not sure of the timeline of this, but it was during my freshman year. I came out to my sister, and I remember because we were laying in my bed, and she was like, "Who do you have a crush on?" And after going back and forth for a long time, I finally admitted it to her that I did have a crush on a girl. And she was like, "Okay." And that was it. Like, she's seriously the best, and she just wants what's best for me, and she's always up to listen to my stories about girls, and she's always up to talk to my girlfriend, and she loves my girlfriend, and she loves having a sister that's different, is what she always says. And she loves having a sister that's gay because not everyone has a sister that's gay, and she's really proud of it. It makes me smile, and it makes me really happy because having your friends support you is one thing, but having like your family be open and proud about your sexuality and talking about it and not making it into something that should be shameful or not talking about it at all, that sucks and it feels bad. And having Abby so open about it and so proud about it is so nice, and she's the sweetest little thing. We don't always get along, but she is the best. So skip through my freshman year and then skip through my sophomore year, you get to the end of sophomore year, which is when I met my girlfriend, and I don't even know where to start with that. I'll probably make a whole other video, but we did meet online, if that is anything, and when I was with her and I was talking to her, I felt loved and I felt supported, and I felt like I was where I needed to be to come out publicly and to my parents, and I did. And I did it in July when she was here with me, and I just posted on Facebook, posted pictures of us together, and I was just like, I'm gay. And I've always wanted to say that. I didn't feel like I could. I finally feel confident. And I got so much love and support from my family and people from my school. And once I started becoming more open about it, it was just the best feeling in the world. And it was so good to be able to say that. It was just like, I could post pictures on Instagram and be like, this is my girlfriend, yay! And like, I finally got to do that, and like, I saw all these people posting pictures with their boyfriends, and I was so ready to post with my girlfriend and show off how beautiful she was, and I didn't realize that I was missing when I finally was open about it and I could talk to people about my girlfriend. Like, that's crazy to me that I can just sit at my lunch table now and my friend Sarah will just be like, yeah, Chloe's girlfriend, da 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 da, and I'll be like, hell yeah, my girlfriend. Like, that's so awesome, and it makes me so happy to just be and exist and just be unapologetically myself. And I had so many worries going back to school out, because junior year would have been the year. I'm in my junior year right now. So going back to school after coming out in July was scary, and it's scary when you play sports, because I was like, what if they don't want to change in the locker room with me? And it's scary going to school, because like, what if someone has a bad reaction to it? What if someone makes fun of me? But my school, as undiverse as it is sometimes, was really loving and supportive of me, and I'd get Instagram comments about my girlfriend and I's relationship, and I get asked about her a lot, and people ask when she's coming and if they can meet her, and it's just it's so good, and it feels so good to be out. So if you're from my school and you're watching this, thank you for being so supportive, and it really does mean the world to me. And any of my family members who commented on that first Facebook post, thank you, and I love you, and this has been such a weird journey for me, and if I could go back to the 12-year-old Chloe, I would tell her that it is okay what you're feeling. You're fine. Like, just be yourself, because someday you're gonna find an amazing girl who loves you for just who you are, and you're gonna realize that your friends and family love you for just who you are too. So if you're watching this and you are confused about your sexuality, whatever you may be, whatever you think you may be, I'm not a sob story. I didn't go through extreme discrimination or homophobia or get disowned, but I am here, and I went through all that anxiety and that self-hatred and that confusion, and I can tell you, honestly, that it does get better. People don't understand how freeing it feels, and it really does feel freeing, and it feels so good to just exist, and I'm so lucky for the people that are around me. I know that I would be in a completely different position right now if I didn't have that love and support, but I do, and it feels so good. And I'm so happy I finally got the motivation to make this video. I'm Chloe. I write, I make videos, I play basketball, I play lacrosse, I have great friends, I have a great family, and I'm gay. And I have a really cute girlfriend. And it's all just the sum of me, and I am all those things, but I'm also gay, and I'm also proud of it. And for the girls like me who felt like they were stuck in a box because they too liked boy bands, and they too had long hair and acted kind of girly, like, there's no wrong way to be a lesbian. A lesbian just means that you are attracted to girls, and it's okay to be attracted to girls, no matter who you are. Girls are great. Boys are great. Everyone's great. You just like who you like, and I hope that whoever's watching this, someday, I promise, you're going to experience love from whoever it is, and it's gonna be great. And it does get better, I promise. I promise. So yeah, that's my coming out story, and it was more of like a really long ramble, but if you can take anything from this, just know that I'm happy and that I want you to be too. Whoever you are, whoever you love, I hope you have an amazing day/night, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye!